Hello there, I'm Sharon Abaud, immigration attorney. Are you filing a family-based petition or a Form I-130 for your spouse, or is your spouse filing a family-based petition for you? In this video, we will be talking about the type of evidence you need to submit to prove that your marriage is bona fide, or real, not a sham. Stay tuned. For great up-to-date immigration advice, subscribe to my channel and make sure you hit the bell so that you're notified every time I post a new video every week. If you're in the process of filing a family-based I-130 petition for your spouse, you may be a little stuck on the part of, how do I prove that my marriage is real? I know my marriage is real, but how do I prove it? There are certain documents that can certainly help you prove that your marriage is real, and we're going to talk about that. But I do want to leave a note here that it's very important that you not enter into marriage fraud, that you not get married to someone for the sole purpose of obtaining an immigration benefit. The consequences are brutal, they're harsh, very hard to get out of that sticky situation. There can also be criminal consequences for both parties. So I do not recommend this. This is for real marriages born out of real love that are married with the intention of living a life together, building a future together, okay? So with that being said, we're going to talk about the type of evidence you can submit to immigration to prove to them that you really are in a real marriage, that you have an intention to form a life together, and we're going to talk about what kind of evidence you can submit. This is the same type of evidence I have used with my own clients to get their I-130 approved. So first and foremost, joint taxes. We definitely want to submit joint taxes if you have them. For newer marriages, perhaps you got married this year, so you couldn't file together yet as a married couple, and you probably won't have this yet, but just keep it in your mind to file together in the future. If you are a new marriage, remember you will need to file something later to lift conditions on your residency. We will talk about this in another video, but you definitely want to file your taxes together if you can. Second, where are you guys living? So you definitely want proof of some kind of perhaps agreement. Maybe you own a house together. If you bought a house together, that's pretty strong evidence that you guys are in this life together, that you plan on forming a future together. Maybe you signed a lease together. Maybe you're living with your parents or in-laws, then maybe we can get statements from them saying what the conditions are, that maybe you're renting out a bedroom, or the plan is for you to get out in 6 months and they're just helping you out. But in those situations, perhaps an affidavit explaining your living situation could help. The third type of evidence you may want to submit are joint bank accounts. So if you've opened up a joint bank account, that could certainly help. And I mean, it doesn't really help if it's just a bank account sitting there idly. We want to show you guys are, mixing up your funds together, that you really are living together. Again, for new marriage, this may be difficult because you're just starting your life together. Perhaps you haven't opened up a bank account yet, but this is something that you probably eventually were planning on doing anyway as a married couple, and that you could submit evidence of this to immigration. Perhaps, for example, a bank statement of your joint account together. A fourth type of evidence you could submit is perhaps, and I'm clumping all these together, but I'm going to say insurance. So this can include maybe health insurance. Perhaps you have some kind of plan together, or life insurance. Maybe someone's the beneficiary of someone's life insurance policy, car insurance, if any of that is together. All of these, any type of insurance that you may have together, include that. That is another form of great evidence. The fourth type of evidence you'll want to submit perhaps are maybe joint utility bills. A lot of the time that I see with my clients, a lot of the utility bills are usually under one person's name. But let's say one person pays for the gas and the other person pays for electricity, but both those bills are going to the same address. That still helps us in those situations because we have evidence that those bills are going to the same address, that you guys are living together. So even though you may not have both names under every account, the fact that you have important documents coming to the same address, that is also helpful evidence. The sixth type of evidence that you may want to submit, especially for my newlyweds who don't have a lot of evidence, we probably want to get a lot of affidavits from family and friends who know you as a couple and who talk about how they know you, how they met you, how they see you together at events, and sort of talk about that, how they know you and how they see you as a couple. So, a lot of times clients will ask me for a template, and I kind of refrain from doing this because you don't want everyone saying the same thing. You want everyone to write something personal about you. It doesn't have to be super long, but just something explaining the nature of your relationship with that person and how they met you and how they see you together. That person should be a U.S. citizen or resident, okay? And we would want proof of that. And then also you would want that affidavit notarized. The seventh type of evidence we're going to talk about are pictures. This is the fun part. Pictures of your relationship. If you posted them on Facebook with dates and there's a bunch of comments and likes, that always helps too. Remember, social media, this is a little side note, social media, immigration often does look into it, but in this case, I think it's something that could help you because it shows that you are showing the world the nature of your relationship with this person. And I want to add a note about the pictures. The pictures should really show maybe the union you have with your family, how you share time together, and show your true story, your true love for each other. The eighth type of evidence we're going to talk about, I already kind of said it, I gave it away a little bit, social media posts. So, if you guys are just change your status to married, maybe you want to show that to print that screen, or maybe you have a bunch of pictures together that you posted or people tagging you and things. All that sort of things help. Again, you're telling the world that you're with this person and you love them. The ninth type of evidence I'm going to talk about, and definitely not least for the order, it's probably the strongest type of evidence that you can submit, is birth certificate of children born out of your relationship together. So if you have children together, definitely want to submit that evidence. If you have stepchildren you acquired from another marriage, from getting married, then you want to maybe show the relationship you have with that child. So if you have pictures together with the child at Disneyland or something, that can help as well. But if you have a child born out of your relationship together, definitely submit evidence of that. In my opinion, no stronger evidence of that. And number 10, last but not least, this is not a checklist. I don't want you to treat what I just talked about, I don't want you to treat it like a checklist. This is not a checklist of documents that you must submit each time. Like I said, everyone's relationship is different, and depending on your relationship, depending on where you're at, you may be able to submit more of some and less of others. That's definitely okay. You want to look at the sum of your case. You want to see that the whole case together can convince immigration that your marriage is real. When a client hires me to help them with this, I make sure that the whole package convinces me, because if it doesn't convince me, it's not going to convince immigration. Although I don't want you to treat this like a checklist that you have to get everything done, I also don't want you to think that this is the entire list and that you can't include anything else. Of course, if there's something I didn't talk about that you think will help your case, by all means, include it. So yes, I hope this helped you. Get an idea of the type of evidence you will need to submit to immigration to prove that your marriage is real. If you're thinking of submitting any other type of evidence not mentioned here, by all means, comment below. So now you know exactly what type of evidence you need to submit to prove that your marriage is bona fide. But what about immigrating? This family-based petition is not going to get you an immigrant visa. You also need to know what process you are going to take to immigrate here in the United States to become a lawful permanent resident. To help you figure this out, how do I know if I can immigrate here in the United States, or how do I know if I'm going to have to travel abroad? I've written a guide just for you. So the link is below. You can download it for free. It's really, really important that you first determine how you're going to immigrate before you start any of this process, as I've mentioned in other videos, because the steps of getting an immigrant visa vary depending on your case. Every case is particular. Of course, I always recommend consulting with an immigration attorney, but in general, your case will be different if you're going to immigrate here in the United States, if you're going to immigrate abroad. The steps will be different. So it's really important that you know from the beginning what type of steps you will need to take to ultimately become a lawful permanent resident. As a reminder, this is not a consultation. This video, I hope, helps you in every possible way, but it does not replace the value of a one-on-one consultation with an immigration attorney. And once you have a better idea whether you're going to immigrate here in the United States or if you're going to immigrate abroad, make sure you watch my videos on those processes. I do talk about the general steps of immigrating here in the United States. I have a video for that, and also of consular processing, which is when you will have to leave the country, or if you're already outside the country, you will also do consular processing, which is going to an interview abroad, not inside the United States. So again, I really stress the importance that you consult with an immigration attorney for your particular case. Every case is so unique. I know you have friends and family telling you what is supposed to happen in your case based on their own experience, but they probably don't know something about your case is different, or you don't even know because there's something so minutely different between the two of your cases that you wouldn't have known that your case had a different issue. So again, I really stress that importance. These videos are not a substitute of that. They are here to guide you, to help educate you, to give you more information in this confusing, I know, overwhelming process, but they are not intended to replace a consultation with an attorney regarding your own particular case. On another note, if you would like to join a community of people just like you, I have a secret society where I share up-to-date advice and help you navigate through this sometimes tricky area. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe and share with your friends. Thank you so much. I'm Sharon Abaud, immigration attorney. Until next time.